One, two, three, and the place to be. It's your player partners from the bottom of the map.
From the bottom of the map.
It's your dog is real.
I ate.
And as always, make sure you hit that like button. You subscribe so anytime we drop, you get that notification that your player partners is out here. We trying to holler at you. Um, Man, first and foremost, man, I want to give a big shout out to No Sweater Picks. No Sweater Picks been tapping in with us. Um, you know, we're gonna get No Sweater on the show so he could drop some of that sweet science he be talking. Um, but we're gonna get into this. We got a weekend recap. We're just gonna do a quick review of what went down this weekend. Y'all all seen it. How you feel?
For me, I'm a person that has been a big critic of Mario, and rightfully so, right? But I feel like I'll be wanting to be balanced. So at the same time, I want to give the Canes props on the what I'm saying, the victory. Was it perfect? No, but I saw some things this game that I hadn't seen. What I'm saying? I felt like in the last 2 years. I got a couple of quick cap of some notes because I did take some notes this time. Beck is deceptively fast and he got juke moves. He don't got a whole bunch of moves, but he got like a little go take step right. He plant his foot to go right and then he go left real quick. It's real quick, and I like that about him. I feel like he looks better at Miami than he did Georgia. And I was about to talk shit about Georgia, but in our next video, we talk about Gunnar Stockton. Gunnar Stockton looked good too. But Beck, to me, he just looks more decisive. He looks more comfortable. I feel like he looks like a true leader out there. I feel like he has full command. And for some reason, I'm just like, damn, you know what? This was a great move for everybody. He had an interception, but he was hit when he thrown that interception. And so I kind of like that. Also, I always heard a lot of thoughts about how Hard Rock is not loud. Hard Rock is loud as fuck when people are there. All right, that shit is loud. That shit is rocking. That shit is up there. It ain't like, oh, ain't nobody coming. We were just garbage, okay? And when nobody coming to the games, the game's been packed. It's been loud. I criticized Shannon Dawson a lot too. I felt like he had a pretty good game plan. I seen a nice mix of run and pass. I seen more passing than running, so I thought that was pretty cool. Play action bomb, I like that. I seen tight passes which were short, and I also seen where he went to the tight end a couple of times. And so I'm like, damn, I seen a mix of every goddamn thing, and I'm like, you could have always done this. Why not do this more? Does that mean he did it all 4 quarters? No, but when he was doing it, the motherfuckers were on. Fletcher had a run where I'm talking about the offensive line blocked so good. I'm talking about parted the Red Sea, man raced straight up the middle. And I felt like Fletcher did a good job of dragging the pile. And I felt like he's being known as that type of back. So while I don't mind, like my whole thing is I don't mind running up the middle. Rhett Lashley likes to run up the middle, and Rhett Lashley, we wasn't getting no run up the middle. So I can't say that we aren't at least getting up there. We'll hit the hole for no gain, and then he will bomb you. You know what I'm saying? And so if they're gonna run up the middle, I do like how they're going about it. Obviously, I still wish no, and I did see Fletcher catch a wheel route pass, so I was pretty dope on that. For some reason, I don't know about the last game, but I guess just being a fan, our receivers get held a lot. They still get held a lot, and it doesn't always get called. I think some of that is a part of football, but then I don't know. If I keep seeing it, I'm going to feel like it's a conspiracy. Like I said, and the thing is, they're doing such a good job that you don't really notice it, but it be a lot of holding. And as long as the refs keep it where I think they were fair in the way that they call things this game versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame, I felt like they would call us for a lot of things and only call them as a response, and our receivers was being held. I'm gonna say the same thing I said though at the first game of the season. Our receivers got a chance to be elite, just as far as how they're coming in. Don't know the system. First year, they putting in work. They already had good work ethic, but they can all catch from our freshmen down to the transfer portal. Tony looking like baby playmaker. I'm gonna start to call anybody who look good from Broward County. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, boy, you looking like playmaker. Once again, I like his routes. The man. If he was boxing, bro, he would be a well-oiled boxer just because it's the way he cuts. It's like he has a deadly separation cut that he gets. And I like him because he's not one-dimensional. He's the type of receiver that could take a short pass and run with it, or he's way out there. He could take the top off, and that's crazy because he's not really that tall. I like Keelan. I kept hearing Keelan's name being called, and them boys is mostly catching everything. Daniels is nice too. He would have been at LSU not getting no passes because Nussenheimer can't throw like that. So you know what I'm saying? He's doing a good job. Johnson had a great catch. Okay, I remember Johnson. Well, like I'm saying, like you got a wealth of receivers. Short crosses, deep routes. They was doing everything. Defense got beat a little bit, but I do like their interception. They're starting to be able to have a nice mix of coverage, interception, missed tackle, but then it's backed up by a very strong, I forgot who it was, a very strong open field tackle. So I will say that the culture, I got to give the defensive, this defensive coordinator that we have so far, even in these games, I remember Manny, and I remember just several defensive coordinators couldn't get people to tackle at all. Tackling has improved. Coverage has improved, and they let them go one-on-one a little bit more. And I always said, like, well, a defensive coordinator is going to have to let them go one-on-one. And I felt like the defensive line did their thing. But I can tell they're missing gear because I'm like, okay, you know what, Bane, when he wants to, he's back there, he's blowing up stuff. So it's just a matter of, you know what I'm saying, like really having, I think Jason Taylor is the D-line coach. And, you know, he was coaching at St. Thomas, which is great because that's why the pipeline there. You feel me? Broward got him right now. That being stated, you need you a pissed off black man from high school who gonna have you out there fighting like, you feel me? Like you get this sack, us gonna get free. We gonna get good, like, you feel me? Because Bane and Mesidor, because when Bane goes hard, he makes Mesidor go hard. But they could be disruptor. But what I'm thinking about this team is that they're gonna play. They still, like you said, even with Notre Dame, they haven't been challenged. Now, our next game, y'all already know, is gonna be Florida, and we're only favored by 8 points, so it's gonna be a challenge because the bookie and them got to know something. But still, the only critique that I have, boy, false starts is the problem. False starts is the goddamn problem. Y'all gonna fuck up some drives. All right, that's how Florida got false starts. Florida just independent. You know what I'm saying? So if I had to critique, it would be that. And they got a receiver. You must have much props to him, bro. Nimrod, if they had a better O-line, he was a matchup problem. That boy there is going places. Nimrod looked good. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm looking at it.
Oh shit. It's a piggyback off of that. First of all, how far has Miami fallen that they got us playing on the motherfucking CW? The CW. That shit, I feel like they tried us so hard. You want to have a top 5 potential national title contender on the motherfucking CW. The CW, dog. I didn't even know they had sports.
I didn't know they were still around.
Like, what the fuck? The ACC network? Like, come on, dog. Like, the CW? That's when back in the day we used to watch Death Wish 3 and Rambo and Steven Seagal movies. Like, dog, what is we?
American Ninja 1.
Yeah. Top Gun. Like, why is we on the CW? Like, that shit kind of had me like, damn, dog. Like, they look at Miami like that now? We on the motherfucking CW? Like,
that's
all
the
networks that's out here, and they got us on. Yeah, dog.
That's man. The ACC. We with stuff like that. Listen, the way it's looking, if Florida State does make that jump, Miami might make the jump too. You feel me?
I mean, but Miami doesn't have the leverage I feel like other schools have. We do carry the brand. You know what I'm saying? The brand of carry, but come on, dog. They wouldn't put Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? They're not putting these schools on the CW, dog.
But to be fair about it, this is only our second year doing this. Like, we just had a good year last year, and before that,
dog, you know, I would expect like Middle Tennessee State to be on the CW, dog. They put HBCU teams on the CW, not Miami.
I never even heard it. But
I never even heard. But with all that, you know, like you said, dog, give credit when credit is due. I'm still not sold, but you know, a win is a win. Just a quick couple of takeaways is I feel like the team camaraderie is different. It reminds me of that Mark Richt year when we pulled the turnover chain out, where everybody was just, you know what I'm saying, like the team camaraderie was there. It reminds me of that team. because everybody was just, everybody was hyped for each other. Everybody wanted to be a part of the turnover chain, and it made the offense get live. So I feel like I feel that same type of energy. We blew out Notre Dame that first game in that Mark Richt era, and then it was just like it was on from then, and then as the season matriculated. So this is why I'm not so I'm not so high on this win. It's a win. I feel like we just gotta keep dominating every week. I feel like Carson Beck, he does have good control. He did throw two stupid picks. I felt like the first one, USF hit. I think it was a linebacker. He just jumped into the sky and got the pick, but I felt like he didn't need to throw that pass. The second one,
he got hit.
Know who he was throwing to. Second one, it was two people in the area, and they probably looked like, who is he throwing to?
Yeah. But he got hit though. He took a nice, like, you know what I'm saying, and the hit got to him before he could really get it off. Like he thought he was going to be able to get that.
I look at little stuff like that against better teams. That can scare me a little bit. But other than that, he's dropping the ball in the bucket, or like you said, our receiving core. At first, because I didn't know who was who. We got a lot of new guys in our receiving core, and our receiving core is stepping up. And I like the fact that Carson Beck he's not locked in on one person. He's spreading the ball around. Just like you said, Marion is getting receptions. Tony Johnson, Joshua Moore, he had 2 touchdowns. CJ Daniels is out there making spectacular catches. I would like to see the tight ends a little bit more.
They got a little pub though. They got a little something.
Just a touch. Like you got to get the tight ends in the game a little bit more. I think they could throw the ball to the backs a little bit more. But I mean, when you put up 49 points, what can you say? I do feel like our rushing attack is still very vanilla. I still feel like I don't see the explosiveness, even though I finally seen like Mark Fletcher get to the second level, make some moves, and take it to the house. This might have been, I don't know if this is one of his, this definitely 38 yards is one of his longest runs. We don't get a bunch of those.
Yes.
We don't get a bunch of those, but he got through the hole. He made some cuts. We know he's a big, powerful, strong back, but I kind of wanted to see that. I wanted to see him get to the second level, make some moves.
Well, in the offseason, he worked on his speed. He worked with a track coach. Yeah, so that's why you're actually seeing his speed more. He worked on that, so it showed.
I do. I also say I want to give a shout out to I feel like the strength of the team, and like they're stronger. You can see it. Like Mark Fletcher, he's pushing the pile. You're not tackling everybody. Shoestring tackles. You got to gain tackle against them. So I give them. What I'm saying. The offensive line. I still would like to see more on the offensive line. I would still like to see them open more holes. I would still like to see like our backs be able to get to that second level. I want to see more 7 to 8 yards of carry versus 4 yards of dragging people. But hopefully, and to me, I feel like South Florida's defensive line is very small. They get by on using speed, so I felt like we could have really dominated in that area. But that's me, nitpicking a little bit. But I felt like our defensive line did what it was supposed to do. I did see like they held Brown in check. He wasn't getting out a whole lot. He broke contain a couple of times, and our secondary fell asleep once again. But and we did give up like 300 yards passing, which is, this would be the thing. I'll be looking at the game completely. We look at like we won. We look at all the highlights. Probably like you say, Nimrod had like 140 yards.
Yeah, they couldn't stop him.
They couldn't stop him. He was getting behind the defense
every time.
That is a problem. When Brown was breaking out of the pocket, our defenders falling asleep once again, not staying disciplined, and people getting behind us in our secondary. Like I know our secondary is a lot of new faces other than Frederic. Frederic got beat a couple times, but it's going to happen. It's football. People are going to score, but I'm just like, I want to see more fundamental. I don't want to see the big breakdowns. I don't want to see like, it wasn't like busted coverages, but it's like they're falling asleep. They're not staying in the areas they're supposed to be in. And you're still getting players behind you on deep passes. They had their tight end get a slip a couple times up the middle. We shut the run down. The run was shut down completely. They didn't have many yards. They had 40 yards rushing. So that's we did a
I
great job.
think too, we did a great job, but to play devil's advocate with that, their OC made questionable calls. A better team, 4th and 1, and you gotta have it. So we've been shutting down the run. We haven't, like you said, we broke contain a couple of times. You decide to send Brown up the middle when you really needed that score. Come
Yeah,
on,
and I do feel like they played with fire a little bit with the tempo, right? I said that from the beginning. The tempo is great when it works for you. It's horrible when you're getting three and out because you're just really just three and out in under a minute and a half. You're giving us
now your defense is tired, and we have long drives. We don't do short drives. Even if we get down there, you see what I'm saying? You're out there, and it's hot. It's Miami now, so even though you feel me, it's not USF. It's the same thing. So I think what's probably unsaid is that those defenses are getting tired in that humidity. How are you training for that? You can't really simulate Miami, and it's raining, and it be kind of humid out there. They had a rain delay, so you know it's humid as fuck. So you're getting gassed by the third or fourth quarter with your defense out there like that.
And just to say, like, this is another game where they let up off the gas in the third quarter. They got super vanilla all over again. A bunch of runs up the middle. It's just like we had it going in the first quarter. We got it going in the second quarter, and then it's like the third quarter is just like, well, we're up. Let's go vanilla. And I'm just like, I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's like I'm just kind of just like I'm lost in the sauce about that one because I'm just like,
I
bro,
think Mario, listen,
put your foot on the deck and keep going.
You know what Mario is thinking? If I'm inside Mario's head, Mario is thinking we're ahead. Let's start running so we can wear him down, wear him down, wear him down. Because that's his thing. His thing is he wants the running to wear you down. So it's the fourth quarter. You don't want to tackle like that so we can bust one through. I disagree, but I'm like, okay, you do that. That's a staple of your philosophy. What's the purpose of this? I disagree with it, but I'm like, you want to wear down. So you decreased it, right? Because before you were doing 5 and 6 drives of that during Notre Dame. You decreased that to the third quarter, but it's there to wear you down. So by the fourth quarter, you kind of hurting. You've been tired of taking blows. You sweating. So now Mark Fletcher can break off runs.
Yeah, I mean, I get the philosophy. I'm just saying, if the team's rhythm is there, the passing game is there. We had almost 400 yards passing.
Oh no, we could have 5
in the passing game.
Yeah, no, it could have been nasty. No, I agree with you. We do have that, but I now I'm starting to really like realize like, okay, no matter what Shannon Dawson want to do, he got to be beholden to Mario. When you win is not a problem, and I know what they're trying to do because at the end of the day, if they start running like that, now the defense thinking you're all running. So when they do see us get back into the mode of passing, it does throw your defense off because you do 3 or 4 drives of something. You see what I'm saying? You're in the heat of the moment. You see what I'm saying? Now you don't really know what's going to happen. Are they really going to run 2 drives or then they're going to throw? If you're going to throw, you're going to throw. So I also understand it. And when they had it perfect, it was the perfect mix of running, throwing, and then quarterback running. If you notice, Carson Beck did a lot more design runs that he can call on his own. And I'm like, yo, those sequences were perfect. So that's the only thing that I can say.
I will give it to him because I have been calling for Carson Beck to at least be a threat to pull it.
Oh, he did it.
Touchdown. He fooled everybody. Everybody. I said,
he did it 3 or 4 times, and only one time did he not get the yards that he need. And he doesn't slide, by the way. He doesn't slide. He you feel me? He don't take no vicious hits, but that boy, he might look scared, but that boy tough, boy. That boy tough.
Yeah, you know what?
He from Tampa now. Let's not act like he ain't from, you feel me, from the state now.
Like I said, I'm not too high. I mean, we beat the shit out of them last year. We beat them 50-15.
Yep.
The game went a little bit different, but the final outcome was the final outcome. And then we went into the next week. So I'm just like, shit, we'll take the win, and we rank number 4 now. In the AP poll, we went up. And we'll see. Like going into next week, Florida, like you say, that's a wounded dog.
I
You
know,
let
but it's a rivalry
you gotta
game
put the
nonetheless.
wounded dogs down. You don't let them wounded dogs be able to fight.
Nah, and Vegas says the spread is only 8 points, but that's what it is today. Now we're at a Monday. I think that spread actually might climb a little bit to 11 or 12. I don't know if it's going to stay at 8, but it's 8 right now. As a fact, I might get that action for the 8.
Well,
But y'all let us know what y'all think in the comments, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll do a video on that one, you know what I'm saying, and break that whole thing down. But I already know where the Canes fans at. They so happy that they don't got no critiques no more. They're like, we there. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, I don't want to get too low, I don't want to get too high. But the fan base, oh no.
Oh yeah, the fan base. This is what last year. We're better. I'm just like, all right, you know what? I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hate. You know, you supposed to celebrate your victories, but I'm so far gone with this team and these starts every year. And if they don't finish it, it's just like I'm not gonna get excited until they finish the deal. When they finish the deal, and we look up at the end of the season, and they not an ACC champ after 20 years, dog. Like I don't want to. I'm just like, bro, like y'all can't tell me nothing.
Look, man.
But let's say they finish the deal, dog. I'll eat it. I eat everything I've been talking. I mean, I'll eat everything I've been saying because we done went through this. We done went through this time after time after time. Dog, you're not finna just keep, pissing on me and calling it rain. Dog, you just not finna keep doing it.
I mean, I can't disagree with none of that. But I got to look at it, you know what I'm saying, with a little bit of that. But I also got to be able to take the wins because you got teams like, yeah, we could say, you know what I'm saying, Florida. But I'm looking at Florida like a team like Florida drop. And I'm like, well, now they done been SEC champs, East champs, you know what I'm saying, a couple times. But, bro, a lot of teams, they be good, bro. They had these droughts. Look at USC. USC that had a drought now, you feel me, for a little minute, you know what I'm saying, before they got Buddy. Or your Nebraskas. You do realize that we were good with other teams that, bro, is Nebraska ever going to be good?
I wouldn't even put us in the mix of Florida and USC because they've had years where they won the Pac-12 or Florida has won the SEC and they've at least got to the title game. Nigga, we in Nebraska's status right now.
We played for the title game one time.
Who?
Miami beat 30.
What happened?
Yeah, it was a bloodletting. I think it was Clemson.
Yeah, you got to be like what? 50,
those were dark days. Those were dark days.
Yeah, we're in Nebraska status right now.
Yeah,
until we prove it, bro, that's what we is. We are what we are. What Danny Green said, they are who we thought they were. That's what.
Or are we? Yeah. But hey, if nothing less, we're like an unaccomplished Penn State right now. We're about to get the height. We can win the game, and we got a harder schedule than them. So I just got to take a little bit.
Listen, we'll see in 2 weeks for sure.
Oh yeah. Nah, I ain't gonna.
When that Tallahassee is gonna we put up or shut up.
I ain't gonna lie, dog. So that's what you're putting it on right now?
No, if we go to Tallahassee, we walk out of Tallahassee with a win. Okay, I'm gonna feel something. I'm gonna be like, all right, this team maybe could do something. But we
what happens if they walk around with it? If they leave with a tight loss, just a tight loss, 3 points.
No, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear no tight loss. If you're a real championship team, you're a real contender. Like, you're supposed to come out of there with a win, and then you're supposed to go look. You're supposed to go search for Georgia Tech, find wherever they at, and be like, we owe y'all. Y'all done put some monkey wrenches in our program a couple times. We need some get back.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie though, man. Gus Malzahn and the boys and Tony White. I like our coordinators. I do, but I ain't gonna lie, boy. Them boys over there, I ain't gonna lie. That shit ugly. That shit fast. That shit deadly right now. I'm just calling it what it is. Them boys ain't just beat Alabama, but they was playing pissed off. They had walk-ons. Out there playing hard at the end of the game.
And I don't care what anybody say. That's the Alabama, and they handled them.
Nah, they beat them boys like was you know how they say you been fucking my mama. Like they act like that team been fucking their mama, and I'm talking about his ass whoopings. It's walk-ons out there playing hard. Like they literally they cleared out their bench after a while, and you feel me? Like the way which Pringle, at the end of the USF game, we let Pringle come out there. Pringle ain't look bad at all. But yeah, their defense was playing, and it wasn't so much that they just beat them. It was fast. It was deadly. It was a lot of speed. It wasn't like it was the whole game balance. No, they fucking did their ass back to back twice to twice. It was like, Alabama came down, scored. They took half the time. They did not drive the whole, but he ran for 30, hit their ass, and it was nasty. Then they defense came out there and shut them up, and I'm like, yeah, that shit didn't look good, bro. They did them how we did USF.
Yeah.
Game was never in question.
So listen, for everybody, throw it to you. I'm with you, but listen, we need to throw that bitch up like the bat sign.
This is a 90 style clash. This is a 90. When we go see them, like, but my point too is, even though we're ranked number 4, Florida State is ranked number 8 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State is a top 5 team, dog. They're a top 5 team. Like, I ain't gonna lie. And the thing is, I know I'm talking big, and I'm not their fan at all. But my thing is, I see the Ohio States, right? I see, you know what I'm saying, the Oregons, and I see even the Georgias. But when Florida teams get good, they faster than you, and you're not gonna catch them. And that's defense and offense. And so I feel like if Miami beats them, no, to me, if that game is tight and we barely lose or they barely lose, those two teams are the teams that you don't want to see in the playoffs because they're faster than you. And
the thing is, we might not make the playoff. That's the whole problem. Like, we gotta get to the playoff. We lose to Florida State.
If we were to lose,
we cannot have no more losses. We cannot have no more losses. Florida State will be our good loss.
Yes.
Right? We cannot lose no more games.
And Georgia Tech has to lose too, and they don't have a hard schedule.
That's what I'm saying. Georgia Tech kind of got through their tough part of their schedule, and Georgia Tech showed us something this weekend with that win over Clemson.
I think they got to play Louisville or Syracuse.
Ain't nobody to be scared of. Ain't nobody to be feared. Nobody. Florida State played Kent State this weekend, so they got to tune up. And I think Florida State don't really this Miami game, because they got Florida on their schedule too. Ain't nobody worried about Florida this year. This game next week, this is going to be a decider. I don't know if Florida State plays Georgia Tech. That might be a game.
They don't play them. That's why I looked at Georgia Tech's schedule, and I was looking at who could beat Georgia Tech. And I think I was like, okay, Syracuse. If they play Louisville, then that would be good too. But Syracuse.
Florida State does not. All they got is Clemson. The other sleeper team, and I've been watching them, we'll talk about them later, is North Carolina State. That's a sleeper team.
Go to Georgia Tech schedule, because Florida State ain't going to lose no more. They're not going to lose. But Georgia Tech, you need them to lose.
Oh. But it's a non-conference game. They got Georgia at the end of the season. They lose that game, it don't matter. Non-conference.
Yeah, but they play Syracuse, right?
They're going to whoop Syracuse.
Syracuse didn't look bad that first game. It was just Tennessee. Tennessee put up 40 points. Tennessee put up 40 points on Georgia. Tennessee going to put up 40 points. So my thing is, you can't see the true value when you're playing top 5 and damn near top 10 teams. Is like, of course you're not going to look good. But Syracuse moved the ball. Syracuse didn't look pedestrian. They just looked like they didn't have the athletes.
I'm not. The way Georgia Tech plays, I'm not worried about Syracuse. I ain't worried about
I just want Syracuse to beat them. And I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, like Syracuse is
what I want. Fuck all them other teams. I want Miami to do what they supposed to do. I want Miami to go out there and not worry about nobody else losing, because we beating everybody. Once we beating everybody, we ain't got to worry about nobody else's schedule. We ain't got to worry about whoever else play, who everybody.
We got to beat Florida State. You already said it, bro. But let's beat Florida first. Let's look good doing it. You know what I'm saying? We got to use Florida like a tune-up. Like, we got a good tune-up, because they gonna play us because they're a wounded dog. So they gonna play us. They ain't got no choice. They gonna play harder because they season over and they coach fired. All right, and the shit in the mess. So hopefully we beat their ass and recruit the good players over here like we did last time.
And Lagway, he threw 5 picks. So
now Lagway be playing for the other team, but watch he try to break contain with us and try to do that running bullshit. If he try to throw though, yeah, we got some DBs too. I don't know, bro. I just know that when you're down bad, I'm talking about down bad how they are. Playing Miami is your Super Bowl right now. That's your championship game.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what can get everybody back on your side? Beat Miami.
Yep.
Beat Miami.
They actually, if you look at their schedule, they got one of the hardest schedules in the nation, bro. They still got to play half of
it. They have the gauntlet.
Yes.
They have the gauntlet, dog.
Miami isn't an easy one.
Yeah. I don't know why they schedule this shit like this. Like their shit is hard every year, but this shit is
I know, but
ridiculous.
it's really hard this year because it was hard last year. Now,
Yeah.
look, you gonna lose.
How they got 2 ACC teams on their schedule and it's top 10 teams? No, where is my Kent State? Where is my, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man, you're not gonna...
Nah, you got to play Miami. And listen, you got to play USF when they good. You got to play Miami when they good. You got to play Florida State when they good. Then you got to play Alabama, Georgia. You got to play Georgia every year. Alabama, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn, dog. He getting fired. He getting fired. He already fired. Bro, he fired. And if you take this job, it's got to be Lane Kiffin, bro. That's too hard of a schedule, bro. You got to want something.
It's just like, I think they might have, I don't know why they did all that scheduling. Oh, dog, this is the rest of their season. So they lost to LSU. They got Miami, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Georgia, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Tennessee, then Florida State.
Come on. You better try to beat Mississippi State. Dog, Florida might not win no more games. They might be looking like, bro.
Kentucky might not be
win from last year. Could they be Florida State from last year? Let's call it now. Dog, they gonna win 2 games. They got 2 victories, bro. And they only got 1 now.
I don't see no more wins. Texas could be a win. Texas is looking real suspect to me.
It is. Mississippi State, I don't know too much.
Nah, Mississippi State, I'm not calling that. That's Levy down there. Nope. Georgia,
that's the easiest one. Oh, you think Ole Miss ain't? Not Ole Miss ain't, because Ole Miss quarterback went down and they still was designing up plays for the next man up. So I'm like, nah, Lane Kiffin is.
You seen what Tennessee did? Even though they always play Tennessee tough, we see what Tennessee.
Tennessee is a different year. They're gonna put 40. This ain't Nico. Okay, that boy there, he gonna give you 40 and he gonna run. And they pissed off about losing by 3 points. So no, Tennessee went to the playoffs last year. You think Tennessee ain't going back to the playoffs and they better? Yes, going back. They going back. Tennessee might fuck around. It might be Tennessee and Georgia, because Tennessee better than Alabama. They beat them last year. To beat them again. Georgia's the only team that can beat Tennessee.
Yeah. South Carolina is down. Ole Miss, we don't fear them. LSU is like, they got a good defense, but they can't.
They don't got no offense. I'm looking on this because that's what. Oh yeah, and which. No, we just might as well run this other little video real quick where we do the reactions. This is what we already bleeding into, unless you just want to do it all here.
Oh shit, we here?
We here. That was a great Georgia game. You called it, but I still felt good about Tennessee, and I'm like, yeah, they put up 40 points on everybody. I think their average might be 40. They ain't scored less. They put on 40 on Syracuse. The next game was maybe like 60. Yeah, they throwing up 40. You getting a 40 piece, bro. Even if you Georgia, you getting a 40 piece. Now, only problem is they done got 40 put on them too. So, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy. But if anything, what you are showing me is that either the offenses are that good, but it can't be that good because LSU has a great defense and they can't get no offense. So I'm like, nah, bro. They are there. Tennessee and Georgia. The thing about Georgia's going to be what they are. They ride to the competition. So even if they was to fuck up the first half with the slow start, they're going to play catch up and their defense is going to get stops. If they play a better team they're going to get better. Georgia is getting better as the season goes on. And I think that's coaching. That's why Kirby Smart is good. We talked about the bet though. That was my one loss. I took the under in the first quarter, and that's not a bad loss because them boys blew the socks off of everything. Was you not impressed with their quarterback though? Bomb it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we talking about they got big play. They got big play.
I was impressed with Tennessee, but as always, I was super impressed with Kirby Smart. I told you, like,
you did.
This shows the difference between certain coaches. They don't let their team get rattled. They don't let them succumb under pressure. They make in-game adjustments, and then they're gonna play all the way to the end.
Nah, I usually bet with Georgia too. I didn't bet. I bet the under either way because I didn't necessarily want to bet because I couldn't see it, and I'm glad because if you would have bet with Tennessee and the points, you would have won. If you would have won by the hair of your chinny chin chin because they only lost by 3, but the line was 3.5. You know what I'm saying? Georgia, on the other hand, you bet with Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Which I mean, it's not like you did an official pick, but you saw it that day and. Crazy, the over was going to hit. Over for the quarter, order for the half. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, them the only lines that would hit. But nah, shout out to Kirby for that. And they got 40 piece put on them too. But I feel like Kirby, like you said, can make an adjustment and he's gonna get a stop when he need to. So that was, you know what I'm saying? That was dope. Gunnar
I mean, that
Stockton looked
quarterback,
good.
that quarterback is definitely better than Nico. His name Aguilar. He's better than Nico.
Yeah.
They
Georgia
receive.
quarterback looked good too, though. I
Yeah,
watched Georgia quarterback. I'm like, dog, dude made all the throws. Dude made all the throws. Like, even though they don't got back.
I was telling you, he remind me of man, what's the I still can't never remember his name. The quarterback before
Stetson Bennett.
Yeah, he reminds me of Stetson Bennett. He's a little bit smaller. He's not, you know what I'm saying, your typical like height, size, but when he get out
make
there,
all the throws, and he putting throws on the money. We talking about he getting throws on the damn money, and I'm like, yo, this guy got better than when he had to come in for Beck. He got better because he didn't have to be as dynamic, but he can make all the throws.
Yeah, so you know, I do think like when you see at the end of the season, you're gonna see like all the teams. You know who's gonna rise to the top. Like this, I think this was a great test for Georgia, a great test for Tennessee. I think they both take this like that game and they move forward, and that can kind of really like determine how their season gonna go because that was a great battle.
That's not a bad loss.
Battled all the way to the end.
Those are good losses. That's a good loss. I ain't gonna lie. That's a good loss right there.
That's a good loss. Another game is that the Georgia Tech Clemson game. Like Clemson showed up and they showed up to play. Georgia Tech, once again, like they played all the way to the end. Their defense showed up. They got timely stops, and you know, like you can never count them out. Like their coaching is just like I'm just being impressed with their coaching all the time.
I kind of so as y'all know, I told you left hand on this same show. No, go with Georgia Tech. Ain't no way. That was my game of the week. I didn't take the points. I just bet Georgia Tech straight up. I got a different take on it. While I am impressed that they were able to sweat it out, they still lost. Like my first statement stands. For me, it's the end of an era at Clemson because Georgia Tech don't score a lot of points. With a team that scores a lot of points, y'all would get embarrassed. I don't think your defense will hold like that. I think the days of believing in being loyal to your quarterback and not hitting the portal are done. And I looked at Clemson's schedule. They got two more. First of all, they're getting thrashed by Florida State. Let's make that understood. You want to see what it's going to be like at a great? I'm calling that now. Florida State's going to beat them by 21 or more. Or more. They might get beat by 28 points because Florida State ain't going to stop. They're not going to stop. I think they also lose to another team as well. So for me, they have 3 losses. They look pedestrian, and it's the end of an era. Either Dabo does something different this year, which he's going to have to because K-Club is moving on, but their style is done. No offense sticking with it, no. So, yeah, I felt like even though they kept it close, I think that they were pulling out everything they had, and I don't think they're going to be able to do that the rest of the season against people that can put up points. Look for Clemson. Remember, I'm telling you this. Look for them to have 2 or 3 losses, and I'm going to bet on them strongly the way I did on this game.
Yeah, I can't say it's the end of an era just yet because I feel like he's one quarterback away from getting back in the mix.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't that long ago he had Trevor Lawrence.
He's going to the portal.
Yeah.
He's going to the portal. If he don't go to the portal, then he's just sitting there and they'll fire him eventually, or they'll just be in pedestrian mode. He's going to hit the portal. So that's what I mean by the end of an era. He's not going to be able to do things his way and be competitive at a high level. Now, if he wants to be NC State, you feel me? You want to go to the second tier of the ACC, be my guest. But your ass going to use the portal, or this is the new Clemson. This is the new Clemson.
Yeah, and them boys only got 1 win right now. Yeah, they might mess around and have 3 to 4 losses this year.
Come on, I'm telling you, I'm gonna bet them. I'm gonna tell you, and if you listen to me, you would have made money. All right, that's the best bet this goddamn weekend. Okay, yeah, you sweat, but don't watch the game. Just listen to me. Let's go to the LSU in the Florida game. We already talked about that a little bit, but I took the under in the first quarter. Yes, it was easy. Wasn't no points getting scored. So we already talked a little bit about Florida. LSU is going to get exposed Twice. Okay, twice. Brian Kelly, he's riding high, and he's like LSU's fans are basking in these wins. But when we look under the hood, bro, your engine, bro, you dress like a Lamborghini, but you got a Toyota engine. You can't score no points. And I'm gonna wait till you play somebody good, because you don't play nobody good next week. But you're gonna play somebody good. I'm gonna bet it big. I'm gonna put $100 of that FanDuel money on the other team. I might put it all on them. I'm gonna put it all on them. Unless you can't score.
That Clemson win don't look so good no more, do it?
Bruh, they can't score. Think about if DJ Lagway would have never thrown 5 interceptions. Let's just say he would have only thrown 2. They damn near could have barely won that game or lost by 3 points, because they can't get no points when they need them. Unlike Texas A&M and Notre Dame, second exciting game of the weekend, Texas A&M, they like, look, we slow, but we got an offense. Don't act like we don't got no offense. We got a defense too, but we got an offense. Now, for some reason, Notre Dame didn't play us like that. That back ain't get off. I think Buddy was hurt because we ain't really contain, you know what I'm saying? Because they kept, if you notice, they didn't have him running through the tackles. They had Love stretched out. They're like, why are you doing this? But they ain't want to say nothing. That boy was over there getting off on Texas A&M, but Texas A&M defense was stopping them too. That game literally came down to the last of the fourth quarter. And I don't know much about their quarterback, but great audition. Okay.
I mean, he was their starter last year, so I mean, he's coming in their second year.
A little bit better. Yeah, he definitely looked a little bit better.
SMU, I mean, bro, what did they do?
I gotta go back and analyze the game. They ain't covering none of my spreads. I don't know what's going on down there. They play TCU this weekend, and they got TCU favored by 7, and they got the line at 64. So I'm gonna figure something out. And like you said, it's football. Everybody have off games, so I believe they won that game, but I know it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, it was 28-10 against Missouri State, or I don't know who it was. Yeah, Montana State, Missouri State, one of them teams.
You gotta look though, because like I put money on Ohio State, and I know Ohio is the best team in the MAC, and I don't know why against what I know. I've been looking at the screen and going with the sexy pick, and I'm like, no. This is Ohio. This the MAC champion. This is what they do. You want to be betting on the rest of their games. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. We're going to see what's up. But that's my dog, and I'm a loyalist. So I fucks with Rhett Lashlee. And even if he get back on the market again as an offensive coordinator, there go your OC. There go your perfect OC right there. So, you know what I'm saying? I'll take that.
Oh, man.
What about Vanderbilt? I told y'all Vanderbilt was going to win straight up. Those are my second best bet. Yo, my 2 picks that if I could only have $1,000, like, come on, man. And Vanderbilt embarrassed them boys, okay? That was what my dog No Sweater said, that was a no sweater pick. Put all your money, and listen, I wasn't taking the points. I don't need the points. They're going to beat your ass like they supposed to. So I was just like, yeah, it was a wrap with that. So, yo, Vanderbilt, their quarterback went down, but it wouldn't have made much of a difference. Vanderbilt embarrassed South Carolina. South Carolina got some more losses in them too. And these teams that don't got no offense like Clemson and South Carolina, I'm going to be betting against them more. You can't score? LSU? Those are going to be great bets. We're going to wait to find us a great offensive team and literally, like, don't even take the spread. Okay, the spread, because they're gonna respect the defense. Take the other team straight up. I'm telling you, that's going to be how I'm betting. That's how I'm betting with this shit. So, yeah. And I don't...
Got any other ones? Or
I'm thinking that's everything. I can't think of any other game. Oh yeah, you like the Rutgers, and Rutgers covered that spread. Rutgers play somebody decent this week though, and they're not favored. Yeah, I forgot who Rutgers play, but I know Illinois play Indiana, and Indiana is favored over Illinois and Brett Bielema. So you know what I'm saying? Which I think Illinois ain't play nobody. Yeah, I don't really think there were any other games like that we were really like super invested in. I think that was
it. That was it.
Great weekend though. Great fucking weekend.
Great weekend for sure. I know a lot of y'all tuned into the NFL and the fight Saturday night. So it was an action-packed weekend.
Oh, it was action.
We rolled with Bud the whole way. So
come on, man. I ain't care nothing about that. I'm mad we didn't bet the money on it, though. It was money because he was low-key the underdog. We could have made that money.
Mm-hmm.
Vegas ain't know what was going on. But, But look, man, per usual, y'all jump in the comments. Let us know what games y'all liked, or if you disagree, or if you say them boys don't know what they talking about, or them boys, you know what I'm saying, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Let us know. We do holler we'll holler back. And you know what I'm saying? If you ain't got nothing else, once again, y'all tuning in for another episode from the bottom of the map.
For the bottom of the map.
Joe gone.
Nope.